Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Have a lot to be grateful for. Um, Apparently, my wonderful daughter has been hitting people up on their streams. Ian, Ian Carroll, thank you so much for everything. And any of Ian's people that came over, truly thank you. It means a lot. It really does. Thanks, guys. So today I kind of just wanted to do a recap about Charlie Kirk. And this one I'm going to call common sense. And yes, I will be reading some of my notes that I wrote because, well, everybody knows what a debacle it is, and it's hard to keep up with. So, this one we're going to call common sense, and let's just do it. We just really need to stop and think about just how odd everything about Charlie's death is, how completely wrong it is. Guys, let's please think about this for real. Ask ourselves, what are the chances? The odds? Whatever you want to call it. I'm sticking with common sense. Period. That's me. I'm sticking with common sense. Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, third year student in the electrical apprenticeship program, has never been in trouble. Never. Not to my knowledge. And I have done some digging, let me tell you. Never been in trouble. There is not one credible person from school or otherwise. Not one. And if I have missed it, please do inform me of whom that person is. Not one credible person through elementary school, junior high, high school, or anything else has come forward saying what a tyrant or asshole or disturbed kid he was or is. I haven't seen anything. Not saying it's not possible, but I haven't seen it. And that's what we're going to go through play by play, and we're going to break this down Barney style, and we're going to have to ask ourselves, make it make sense, because it doesn't. So he, not one person saying he was a weird dude. I mean, other than the bullshit that we see on the Discord, which, in my opinion, that was not real. That wasn't even Tyler. That was all Fed slop bullshit, in my opinion. So nothing about him being weird or, you know, only thing that they really came out with was, he's a trans furry lover. And, I don't even know if that's true. So then let's go further. We are to believe this person, Tyler, found out that Charlie Kirk was going to be at UVU September the 10th. Mind you, this information on date and time was only known publicly a couple weeks ahead of time. Tyler then decided, I hate that guy. I'm going to go take him out. Not knowing shit else, how much security would be there, how much law enforcement presence would be there, where Charlie would be sitting. See, we have only gotten this far. And I think just here, right here, where we're at, with what we got, seems not likely and strange. But let's go further. Maybe finds out where outside it will be, and then what? He is guessing on where Charlie would be sitting exactly. So now it's not just sheer luck on his end. And I say sheer luck because obviously it's not luck that Charlie was assassinated. So sheer luck on his end, and he gets the old ass gun, makes it through the crowd with this old ass 30-06 dismantled or together, made it through to hop on the roof and with no fear. No fear, no adrenaline, no nothing. Just matter of fact, Tyler got up there. He found the perfect spot to take the perfect shot and made it happen. Then dismantled or not the firearm, jumps down, disappears, actually gets away. Drops the firearm in a grassy patch by a chicken coop and got away. Then, 33 hours into it, he turns himself in. Was not caught, but turned in. Okay, so that's the facts that we know. And benefit of some serious doubt on Tyler's end. Now let's get into what we know about what was going on in Charlie's life prior to September 10th. We know Charlie invited Tucker to the SAS event to speak. That was July 11th, 2025. Right after Tucker speaks, Charlie then hosts Dave Smith and Josh Hammer debate July 13th, 2025. Charlie was obviously catching heat from both decisions because he started to voice via text and other ways that he was going to die. Told Harrison Smith, they are going to kill me. Told Andrew Colvett, Dan Flood, Frank Turek, and of course he told his David Candace Owens. And I'm sure more people were aware of this. And then that brings you to, with him outright telling these people, including his security detail, that he was going to die or there was a fear of something happening. Again, we're weighing the options here. Is it more likely that Tyler Robinson had the sophistication and all that to do whatever event took place that day? Or is it more likely that the team or the people over there in the place the size of New Jersey? We'll leave it at that. So we know that he texts groups saying he lost a pretty big donor and said he would have Candace on, to which we don't know who, but clearly someone in that group text didn't like that idea. We know he sent a letter to Bibi Netanyahu months prior saying he was getting his ass kicked out here at the campus events because everyone was coming down on him about the little place the size of New Jersey. Charlie sent a letter expressing this to Bibi, and Charlie is on video plenty of times saying what they did to Gaza was an ethnic cleanse. We know that Laurie Cardoza Moore sent Charlie a disturbing text about Tucker and Michelle Bachmann being booed. We don't know the dates, but can certainly with confidence say it was after July 11th when Tucker spoke, and clearly before he was assassinated. I don't know about you, but her words ring through my head constantly. Be very careful, Charlie. Then we know around the first week in August 2025, Charlie was summoned to the Hamptons by Bill Ackman. He goes and is no doubt reprimanded for Tucker and Dave Smith and everything else that he was not falling in line with. And then got a surprise call while being there from Bibi Netanyahu. Bibi then offers to take TPUSA to the next level. Ask yourself this: what's the next level? Because they were already in the millions. So what's the next level? Billions? Charlie actually declined. Now all this we know. and we know it to be true. We also know he took Tyler Boyer from the CEO position and put Justin Strife in there. He sent a memo out saying Justin would be overseeing a Doge. Let's call it a Doge check. Whatever you want to call it. He sent a memo out saying that he wanted it to be done, and everybody helped participate in making that happen. We know he was living in a state of his life being threatened. We know he sent a text saying he was left with no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. We know much more, but we're playing it safe here tonight with what we have seen and know to be true. So we have seen these text messages, we have seen the memos, we have seen the videos, and we know this much to be true. And again, we're weighing the options here. I mean, common sense and make it make sense. Because it doesn't make sense. We know Erika hasn't provided a credible alibi for September the 8th, and just happens someone claims to have seen her at the Candlewood Suites in Fort Huachuca. We know from Erika that September the 9th, having just come back from Korea and Japan, she made it sound like for him to get rest, he slept in his daughter's room that night. I personally feel that's strange, in my opinion. I mean, if he's stressed out and fearing that something bad is going to happen, I would think that he would find comfort with his daughter being in the bed, sleep, and snuggling up to her. Not to mention, he's been gone. So, is it not odd that being gone, you come home late, your children are already asleep, and you go sleep in the bed of your daughter? Doesn't sit right with me. So we have that. We know that from Erika. Then the day of, not all of us seen so many different camera views and what his team did and did not do. We know that it was all just downright strange, from Dan Flood giving an arm signal, and then quite literally the event took his life happened. Mikey McCoy walking away like a stroll on the beach. Tyrel Farnsworth walking away. And from many camera shots and video, neither Mikey or Tyrel even looked and seen what happened to Charlie. One strolled away, the other posted up and took the most ridiculous selfie video saying they just shot Charlie. And ended the video with, "He is dead." No way he would have known that. No way. He did have the vantage point of videotaping them lugging, I would say, because carrying's being a little bit generous, lugging Charlie to the SUV. But no way he would have known that Charlie was dead. And definitely Mikey wouldn't have known either. And then the strangeness of Bibi making a statement in Israel that Charlie had been assassinated before we even knew he was gone. Tyler is sitting in jail awaiting trial with the death penalty on the table for the assassination of Charlie. Case closed. No one seems to care that, hey, there seems to have been some serious threats on Charlie's life, and people over in the place the size of the New Jersey aren't real happy with him right now. By the way, he felt like they were going to kill him. Nope. Case closed. Transferring lover Tyler. Done. Seal it. Just let it go. No SUV that took him to UVU and to the hospital. Was it seized for evidence and to process? Nah. Nope. Not a chance. It was auctioned off with the quickness. Crime scene itself, what we know. We know Tyrel took the very chair Charlie sat in when the event took place and pulled it over to stand on to get the SD cards out of the cameras. Not weird at all. Like, no emotion there, no freaking out. Like, you just seen somebody that you respect, and I mean, cringy. It's cringy. No matter how you spin it, it is fucking cringy. Period. People walking through, on, all over the crime scene. Then the entire scene destroyed, demolished, paved over. Make it make sense. Please, if anybody can, make it make sense. We have to ask ourselves just how fucking high up does this go? And at what cost to keep it from coming out? We as Americans cannot not know and see this and sit idly by like it didn't just happen in front of the whole world. No, not anymore. I won't sit like I have my head buried in the sand and I don't know what my lying eyes are showing me right in front of me with all the cameras and photographs and people's behaviors and the lies and everything. No, not happening. This is so ridiculously sloppy, messy, bold. It is an insult to every one of us, every single one of us, to think we would buy that bullshit narrative. It is a true insult. And I know everybody has to be feeling that way. Where's the investigation? When does it stop? At what point do they realize that it's not just going to go away, that where's Charlie buried? Why is it a secret? Well, I'll give my opinion on why I think it's a secret. Well, because it's the only thing left, if it truly is, that could possibly show something other than their bullshit narrative that they have spun on everybody. The great lengths that they have gone through to make Candace look crazy, or the grieving widow, and how dare you say these things or act that way or talk that way. They played on everybody's sympathy. So, yeah, let's see. And it's like they do it in waves. As soon as, they think that they've been caught in a lie, and then Candace or somebody uncovers it, they then go through this whole, I mean, they have to be paying out the ass. Oh, we know they are out the ass to, I mean, get people to, like Gare Bear from Paramount to live be fed information from Andrew Colvett with a ridiculous picture claiming an alibi of your finger over two kids that are not even in the vicinity of the size of your real children. Period. We're not fucking dumb. And to continue on with this bullshit and this nonsense like we are is absurd. And I'm not saying Tyler Robinson is innocent. What part, if any, he played in this, I don't know. I mean, I have ideas and opinions. I believe, him, I believe Lance could have took a small part in it, not knowing the full depth of what was going to happen. But by no means, do not get this wrong, do I believe for a second that either one of them boys killed Charlie. Not for a second. To the extent I believe it was, a lot of people were hired or bought to do all kinds of weird, different, strange things. I mean, everything comes back to people being crisis actors and just weird shit. And I don't know if you've watched any of my other shows, but if you haven't, I got deep into Erika's family and who they are and where they come from. And these people have connections and they have deep ties to the little place like the size of New Jersey. The She has the Aunt Carla that was or is married to, I don't know how this guy could still be alive. If he is, I would be shocked. But hey, he might have some serious good genes, people. But I mean, he was a fossil or is a fossil. He sat on the board for Jewish studies at Utah, UVU. I do believe that I have found that her brother lives in Salt Lake City. And what do we know from that? Well, we know from Frank Turk's delightful self that when he arrived to Utah after he went to the hospital, he had to drive to Salt Lake City to where his son was, Mikey. So why did Mikey stroll away and dip to Salt Lake City? I mean, we have so many questions and no answers. But this is what we've been dealt with. And just with these facts, can we ask ourselves, what truly are the chances that Tyler Robinson is sitting in jail, rightfully so, for having assassinated Charlie? And then all these strange coincidences that have taken place that Erika has went through great lengths to try to hide and lie, but the truth always finds a way to come to light, and that's exactly what is happening. And people, thankfully, are letting it be known. Hey, he sent a text here, and people like Harrison Smith. I don't know him, I haven't really followed him, don't care to, but my guy, if somebody like Charlie Kirk sends you a message saying he feels like they are going to kill him, why the fuck has anybody not spoke up before it happened? Why wasn't anybody concerned about this? It's baffling to me. So again, I say make it make sense. Can you make it make sense? I can't make it make sense. But I'm gonna ask you again, with those facts as we know them, and I am confident in saying everything that I have said here has been proven. The text messages, the feeling compelled to leave the pro-Israel cause, the dates when he was being a bad boy and let Tucker come on and speak, and then Dave Smith. It was one thing right after another, and then that's it. That's a wrap. When he told Bibi no, I think that sealed the deal for him. Make it make sense, because selling us the story that Tyler Robinson, 23-year-old electrician apprentice, the luckiest person in the world, smart as hell apparently, was able to get a 30-06 up on top of that roof with very little knowledge prior to, and pull off a shot that would assassinate him and take his life, which I don't believe he was shot anyways, but I can't prove that. It's neither here nor there. I do know that he wasn't shot by a 30-06. And I don't believe that Tyler Robinson did as we just went through. So when you compile all these things up, it begs to question, where the hell are we as a country? This is not okay. We have Candace being threatened by the French government with hits putting out on her that are legit. The FBI not doing jack shit about it, not even so much as returning her phone call. That's the great Cash Patel. Dan Bongino going from podcaster back to FBI back to podcaster. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. I'm not voting anymore, and I refuse to vote until, if ever, this bullshit. I mean, I'm not voting to vote some voice in that is speaking for someplace the size of New Jersey. I'm just not doing it. And then, I mean, we could get into the, you know, the fuckery that's going on with Epstein and the files. And is he dead? Is he not dead? Personally, I don't think so. I believe he is sitting somewhere fat. Thank you, New Jersey. The pedo, someone like Charlie Kirk, a good person with morals and values and wants to do good for the country. Can't have that. But we can, swap out pedo and let him run free. And I get the drastic measures of going through and trying to redact everything and, because if you truly let the American people see just how fucking disgusting you people are, well, you might have a problem on your hands. So, I urge everybody, you have to speak up. We can't just sit back and take it. We have to protect our kids. We have to protect our kids. And to sit back and say nothing is complicit. Everybody has a voice. Everybody needs to use it. And that's all I'm going to say on that today. It just bothers me. I mean, for days, I have days I've been like weighing this like back and forth just on this little bit of information, which obviously it's serious. There is no way in hell you can come to the conclusion that Tyler Robinson should be sitting where he is. And nobody else is being investigated or checked into. The SUV gone, crime scene gone, paved over. None of this is weird. Stop. Let's pull an Erika. Stop. I mean, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because it doesn't. Sadly. Actually, here we go.
Stop.
Yeah, so I don't know how you guys feel, but that's how I feel about it. And the more I think about just how absurd just this, it's not rocket science. It just takes common sense, man. Common sense. And everybody needs to speak up and use their voice. And we're not taking this anymore. Or you shouldn't be. I know I'm not. Whether I got to go to Utah or whatever I got to do. I am done sitting by watching the government and these people get away with doing whatever they want to our children and taking lives. And no one's life is better than any other life. So if Epstein is alive, who had to take that? Who was that victim? When and where, at what cost? Again, at what cost? Just because the rich and elite have the money to be rich and elite does not mean it's okay to do these things. We're supposed to be a free nation. This is the United States of America. I don't know about you, but I'm not feeling a whole lot of hope or free. And I think, one of the best things I could have done was pull my kids from public school and homeschool them when COVID hit. That was the smartest thing I could have done, because even that, what they're being taught, they're just being programmed. That's what they're doing, is programming our kids with social media and school. They program our children in school to believe certain ways and certain things, and they they lie and tell history in a completely different way than it really happened. So, I mean, I think if you are able to pull your children from a public school and homeschool them, you probably should. Best decision I made. One, my daughter, that I'm sure some of you have been in contact with, she's graduated, and I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed watching her for the last 5 years grow into the young lady that she is, and to be able to homeschool them. I still have one that is in school though, but she's awesome, and I want to thank you all. And Ian, you rock, man. Seriously, you rock. Thank you so much. And again, to all of Ian's people that even bothered to come over and check and subscribe, thank you. I truly do appreciate it. And I would love to hear your comments and get your feedback. And I am all about I'm super excited and want to do some research with Ian, and currently working on trying to get my PI license reinstated. So yeah, good things to come, hopefully. And hopefully together, if we stand together, we can do more, for sure. But hopefully we can take a stand, do this together, and try to make a difference, because it matters for our kids. It matters. It all matters. So with that, I'm going to end this. And I'm going to say, if you like this content, like and subscribe, hit the notification button, and remember that silence is complicity. Let's keep the conversation going. So please like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and let me hear about your opinions in the comments. I would definitely love the interaction. So until then, hope everybody has a good night. And Ian Carroll, thank you again. And Ian Carroll's peeps, thank you again. Good night.